Welcome back, deep thinkers. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of lone wolves. Often misunderstood, these individuals choose solitude, not because they have to, but because they want to. They navigate life on their own terms, using their quiet strength and independence. They're not lonely, they're alone by choice, enjoying their own company. Let's explore the minds of those who prefer their own company. Imagine a friend who enjoys staying in rather than partying. This friend, let's call them Alex, is seen as distant or uninterested, but in reality, they're just introverted. Alex likes being alone and is comfortable with their own thoughts. In a world where being social equals happiness, Alex's habits might seem strange. They'd rather read a book or try a new hobby than be the life of a party. You might notice Alex prefers deep conversations. They're thoughtful, and they listen more than they talk. This is a typical lone wolf. They're not lonely, they're alone by choice. They value their solitude, finding it a source of strength and creativity. They enjoy their own company, and don't need to always be around others. Our introverted friend in their solitude finds their comfort. Think of a kid happier with their thoughts than with a crowd. This is the independent child, an early sign of the lone wolf personality. They are often seen engrossed in a book, creating worlds with their toys, or just lost in their rich inner world, while their friends play in groups. This child doesn't avoid company but chooses it carefully. They might prefer the company of a pet or a trusted adult over the noisy chaos of their friends. Family gatherings show us their world. While other kids are running wild, the independent child might be found helping in the kitchen or maybe even drawing a quiet corner of the garden. Though they might seem lonely, they are far from it. They are simply following their own path, valuing their independence. This child, a future lone wolf, values their independence. Imagine a sibling who enjoys being self-sufficient. This is the person who, even as a child, would rather solve a puzzle alone than ask for your help. They'd prefer to bake cookies from scratch rather than use a pre-made mix, just because they enjoy the challenge. They're the sibling who, when faced with a tough decision, retreats to their room to think and comes out with a solution born from their own thoughts. This is the self-sufficient sibling, a real-life example of the lone wolf personality in the family. Their independence isn't a rejection of family, but a confirmation of their own abilities. They don't avoid the pack, they just hunt alone, confident in their ability to navigate life. They step out into the world armed with nothing but their own determination, turning challenges into opportunities. Our self-sufficient sibling, like the lone wolf, seeks their own path. Think of a coworker who does well when working alone. They don't avoid teamwork, yet they seem to do best in the quiet corners of their workspace, focused on their tasks. This is the autonomous employee, a potential example of the lone wolf personality. In the wide range of workplace dynamics, the autonomous employee stands out. They are self-motivated and independent, needing little to no supervision to reach their goals. They're the ones who take the initiative, solving problems on their own and coming up with new solutions. Consider a situation where a complex problem comes up. While others may rush to form a team, the autonomous employee is already thinking of a solution. They're not being antisocial or standoffish, rather, they find clarity and focus in their solitude, which enables them to perform at their best. This autonomous employee, much like a lone wolf, finds strength in solitude. They show that sometimes the quietest individuals can make the biggest impact. Picture an explorer choosing to travel alone. This is the embodiment of the solitary explorer, a character who prefers solitude to company, who seeks out the unknown, not for companionship, but for the thrill of self-discovery. Consider the likes of Amelia Earhart, the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic, or Reinhold Messner, who climbed Mount Everest without extra oxygen. They didn't just challenge physical limits but also embraced the journey within. Their quest for solitude mirrors the lone wolf personality. The solitary explorer, like the lone wolf, is not driven by loneliness but by a deep desire for self-reliance. They find joy in exploring the unknown, in navigating the complexities of the world on their own terms. Their solitude is not a sign of isolation, but a testament to their strength, resilience, and independence. The solitary explorer, like the lone wolf, finds peace in solitude. Reflect on a partner who values their alone time. This is the self-reliant partner, an interesting character in the relationship dynamic. They're not distant, but rather, they appreciate their solitude. It's not about you, it's about them. Their independence is their strength. For instance, a self-reliant partner will often prefer to solve problems on their own before asking for help. They're not being stubborn, they're using their autonomy. They're the ones who are comfortable eating alone or pursuing solo hobbies without feeling lonely. They're not being antisocial, they're simply enjoying their own company. Their self-reliance can be a beautiful thing, fostering a relationship built on mutual respect and individual growth. Yet it can also pose challenges requiring understanding and patience. But remember, their need for solitude is not a rejection but a reflection of their lone wolf personality. The self-reliant partner, like the lone wolf, values their independence. Think of a leader who prefers to work alone. This is the solitary leader, a unique example of the lone wolf personality. They are people who lead with a sense of independence and autonomy, often choosing to make their own path rather than following the crowd. Imagine a CEO who, instead of heavily relying on a team of advisors, trusts their own instincts and insights, or perhaps a military general who bases their strategy on personal observations and experiences rather than group consensus. These leaders are not antisocial or distant, but rather they see value in introspection and self-reliance, just like the lone wolf. The solitary leader's approach can yield amazing results. Their decisions, not influenced by groupthink, are often innovative and forward-thinking. They can see the big picture with a clear perspective, allowing them to navigate their course with utmost precision. The solitary leader, like the lone wolf, finds power in solitude. Let's bring all these characters together. We've explored diverse relationships and roles, each inhabited by the interesting lone wolf personality. This unique character thrives in solitude, yet is not defined by loneliness. Rather, they are individuals who enjoy their own company, often finding a deep sense of peace and fulfillment within their own thoughts and actions. Lone wolves are known for their strong independence. They are the introverted friend who enjoys deep conversations, the independent child who finds joy in solitary play, the self-sufficient sibling who doesn't shy away from taking on responsibilities, the autonomous employee who excels at solo tasks, the solitary explorer who craves the thrill of discovery, the self-reliant partner who respects personal boundaries, and the solitary leader who leads by example. The strength of the lone wolf lies in their self-reliance and resilience. They are comfortable with who they are and are not easily swayed by societal expectations or norms. Yet, this can also pose challenges. Their preference for solitude may be misunderstood, often seen as aloofness or indifference. Remember, however, that, like all personalities, the lone wolf is not a one-size-fits-all label. Each person is a unique mix of traits and experiences. What is important is understanding and respecting the lone wolf's need for space and solitude while appreciating their unique perspective and strengths. The lone wolf, a symbol of strength and independence, thrives in solitude. We've explored the minds of the lone wolves. Now it's your turn to share your thoughts. Have you ever felt like a lone wolf? Making your own path, finding strength in solitude? Maybe you've encountered this personality type in your friends, family, or colleagues. Maybe you admire their self-reliance or struggle to understand their need for independence. Each perspective is a thread that weaves into the rich tapestry of human understanding. So, step forward and add your voice. Share your experiences, observations, and insights. Let's explore the intricacies of the lone wolf personality together. Your contribution could light a path for another, or provide a fresh perspective that challenges our understanding. This is a space for exploration and discovery, a pack where each voice matters. Deep thinkers, your engagement enriches our pack. Like, comment, subscribe, and keep exploring. Thank you for watching.